number of years ago, I got interested in making smoked sausage, smoked salami out of venison. Had some made up in Georgia, and it was real good. Caught my attention. Back up there to pick up some meat one time, and the girl come out of the cooler, gave her my ticket. She come out of the cooler with this cardboard box full of sausage. She took the ticket. Said, well, I had 60 pounds of sausage, so she pulled out 60 pounds of sausage and weighed it up. Didn't think much of it. But my buddy at the Whippy, he'd run the deer up there the same day. He gave him her ticket, and he had like 40 pounds of sausage coming. Yeah, she reached in that same box, she pulled out 40 pounds of sausage. We looked at each other like, what the damn deer we got? So, anyway, when I got home, I went to talking to my uncle and asked him, I said, you know, did y'all have a smokehouse back, you know, when you were young? Did y'all used to have a smokehouse out there on the property? And he said, no, we didn't smoke our meat. Well, I'm going to show you how they used to put up their meat, but I want to show you the smokehouse right quick. That's a 6 foot by 6 foot by 6 foot 4 tall walk-in smokehouse. Works real good. Seal it up, build my fire. Got my fire box out here, got a tunnel runs up underneath it. Chimney runs out through the top where I can control it. Over here, that's the processing room where we grind the sausage and put it up. But we'll get a deer this year, we'll make some smoked sausage so you can see how it's all done. But we're gonna go over to the cane kettle, and I'm gonna tell you how the crackers used to put their meat up in this part of Florida 7,500 years ago. Alright, I remember growing up, my grandma had a room out to off from her house. She called her fruit room. Out there in the fruit room, that's where she kept her canned goods that she put up. And she'd have canned chicken, canned patty sausage, canned bacon. If it sat still long enough, she'd put it in a can. Well, I was talking to my uncle about wanting to learn how to smoke meat. And he was telling me, he says, no, we didn't smoke our meat because it gets so hot and damp this part of Florida, you know, in the summertime. He said it'd just go rancid on you. So he said what we did when we'd have our hog killing, we'd go down there to Uncle Eddie's where he had this old big syrup kettle. It's a 60-gallon cast iron kettle that he made his cane syrup in, which I use for cane syrup now. But what they would do, they would butcher their hog. They'd heat up the water in the kettle, scald him, scrape the hair off. After they scrape the hair off, then of course they skin him. Well, they take the skin, cut it up off the hog, and cut it into squares, make cracklings. Well, they get the water out of the kettle, put the cracklings in there, cook them down to get the lard. Well, once they got all the cracklings cooked down, while they're cooking that down, the women folks was over here on a bench somewhere, cutting the hog up and into fry meat. They would get the cracklings cooked, dip them all out, have that big old kettle of hot grease. They take that fresh pork, they just butcher it out. Back in the grease he goes. They'd fry it, deep fry it in his own grease. Well, they used to have a 5-gallon metal bucket they called a lard bucket. It had a metal top, clap on back in them days. They would dip the meat out once it got done, put it in that metal bucket, then they'd ladle that hot grease in there on top of it till it covered it up. Let it sit, took quite a few hours, I'm sure. They'd let it sit till it cooled, and when hog lard cools, it turns to grease like Crisco. Put the lid on it. Well, that's how they stored their meat. I don't know that heart doctors today wouldn't be too tickled of a diet like that, would they? But anyway, they would just take, when it come time, and take a big old fork and dig down through the grease and stab them a pork chop too, bring it out, put it in the frying pan, heat it up, cook the grease off of it. That was their meat. That's the way they kept it. And of course, that didn't work good in the dead of summer either, I'm sure. But my aunt always told me that we didn't eat much pork in summertime. It's bad for your blood pressure. Well, I imagine it was bad for your digestive system too. But my uncle told me they'd get through and cook that old hog down and put him in there, and they'd still have some grease left. He said that him and his brother-in-law and my dad and my granddad, they'd all hit these woods, and if it flew, jumped, crawled a tree or whatever, they shot it, took it home, cleaned it. They'd deep fry that too. Squirrels, rabbits, birds, quail, whatever. They'd deep fry them, put them in a bucket of lard, so they'd have something to eat besides pork. But kind of an interesting way to keep it up. But I used to watch my grandma when I was little. She had a big old cast iron skillet, and she'd take chicken. And she didn't flour it or salt it or pepper it or nothing. She just clean the chicken and take it and cook it in that hog lard and fry it, and then put it in the jars. Then ladle that hot grease in there, put the lids on it. And I don't remember, but she probably did pressure cook it. But I'm gonna tell you what, that made the best chicken and dumplings or chicken and rice you ever put in your mouth. Oh, that was good eating. Probably not good for us, but hell, my uncle lived to be 91. My grandma, I think, was 87, and her daughter was 88 or something like that. So what the heck, they had a good long life eating all that grease. Florida Cracker Outdoors. Subscribe and keep watching.